Today on Dig Into It, we'll look at everything you need to know for election season. Today is the final day for voters to register for municipal elections. Mail-in voter registration applications must be postmarked by today, Friday the 13th. It's okay if you can't register today. During early voting, you can register at the voting site and vote the same day. Most voters can't register on election day. The exceptions are newly naturalized citizens and people who have finished serving a felony. New North Carolina laws requires photo ID starting with the upcoming municipal elections. You have plenty of options to fulfill the photo requirement. You can use a North Carolina driver's license, a U.S. passport, a college student ID that's been approved by the State Board of Elections, or a military ID card. If you don't have any of those, you can get a voter ID from your county board of electors. You can find a complete list of your options at the North Carolina Board of Elections website. Now, these are the dates that you need to know for municipal elections. One-stop early voting starts next Thursday for all North Carolinians. You'll have until October 31st to submit absentee ballot requests. One-stop early voting ends November 4th. Then November 7th is the big day. That's when the statewide municipal general election is. Plus, here are the Guilford County areas that will have an election come November 7th. To vote, you must be registered and living in the area you are voting for. Primary elections happen Tuesday. One of the biggest races in our area is the City of High Point mayor election. We now know the two candidates moving forward to the general election. Right now, the State Board of Elections says Cyril Jefferson Gardner close to half of all votes, and he'll be joined by Victor Jones in the election. Jones won 33% of the votes. Finishing in third and fourth was Abdul Rashid Siddiqui with 11% and Gene Kinnemoth with 6%. Now, High Point has nonpartisan elections, so the top two candidates go on the ballot in November, regardless of what party they are in. Both of the candidates thank their voters for their support.
Honestly, I'm just grateful for everyone who took part in today, not just the voters, but all the volunteers who showed up to work the polls, to work elections, all the candidates who put so much time into these past several months to get ready for today. It gives me hope that High Point's future is bright.
We're just thankful. I mean, our supporters, our volunteers, everybody did exactly what we wanted them to do, which was to move us on to the general. We're really pleased with the results. It's going exactly according to plan. And excited about what we can do the next few weeks to move on to general and take that mayor's seat.
One High Point voter says he was glad to participate in the election.
But I'm an older guy, and I've seen the march that voted, the people march for us to have the right to vote. So they marched for this right, so I got this right, so I vote. We need to stop the Democrat and Republican thing to come together and I'm gonna vote for the candidate that I think gonna serve the city the best.
The current results are all still unofficial. The Forsyth County Board of Elections will certify the official election results of the High Point primary at their meeting next Tuesday. Now, here are the unofficial results for other Guilford County elections. Britt Moore and Amanda Cook finished first and second in the High Point City Council at-large election. Vicki McIver and Glenn Chavis won the High Point Ward 01 council member vote, and for Burlington council member Charlie Beasley received the most votes, and Dewana Bigelow and Brandy Whitaker tied for second place. Finally, for Jamestown, Pam Burgess and Sarah Glanville finished in the top spots. Now, we are still a year out from the 2024 North Carolina governor election, but we've got a good idea about who's in the running. Governor Roy Cooper can't run for a third term, but he's endorsed Josh Stein as his successor. Now, former state Supreme Court Associate Justice Mike Morgan also entered the race for the Democratic nomination. There's quite a few candidates running for the Republican primary, including current state treasurer Dale Falwell, former Congressman Mark Walker, former health plan CEO Jesse Thomas, Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson, and former state senator Andy Wells. Primary elections are scheduled for March 5th of next year. Some new veto overrides from the North Carolina General Assembly could change how future elections work. The first deals with mail-in voting. It reduces the grace period for when they can be accepted. It also requires people doing same-day voter registration cast provisional ballots. And the second now law overhauls the state board of elections. State lawmakers are now in charge of appointing people. It gives each political party the power to pick 4 members, giving the board 8 total people. It currently has 4. The board must also pick an executive director or legislative leader would pick. Now let's turn our attention to the votes taking place in the House of Representatives. House Republicans are scrambling to figure out who will be their next speaker after a major shakeup in the race.
Ohio Congressman Jim Jordan relaunched his candidacy for Speaker Friday after Majority Leader Steve Scalise dropped out of the race late Thursday night.
We had a number of our colleagues come to that call me last night, which I think we have. So we will go to the conference and talk with our colleagues. But I feel real good about my side.
But some House Republicans are skeptical Jordan will be able to get enough support from moderates to get the 217 votes needed to win on the House floor.
I think there's enough people that would see what has happened and transpired over the last 40 hours to not support him that we're going to have the same problem with Jordan that we had with Scalise. So I think it's a math problem.
And Jordan has new competition, with Georgia Congressman Austin Scott filing to run, saying he wants to, quote, lead a House that functions.
If we as Republicans are going to be majorities, we have to do the right things the right way. We're not doing that right now.
As this race drags on following McCarthy's ouster more than a week ago, House Republicans have expressed they're disappointed with their process.
There's some deep mistrust, there's some communication problems, and some things are jacked up.
While the timeline remains up in the air, House Democrats are urging their members to be ready to vote on a moment's notice. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Capitol Hill.